You are welcome to my channel. We are going to be looking at physics this time, and the area of physics we are going to be looking at is standard instruments. In our last lesson, we dealt with physical quantities. Now look at the fundamental quantities, and we mentioned the basic fundamental quantities and also related quantities. And the aspect we are trying to look at now is the first fundamental quantity, which is the length or the distance. In our last lesson, we saw the SI unit for measuring length, and we say it is meters. And we also saw other related units and how we can convert from other unit to the SI unit or the SI unit to other units, depending on the examiner demands. But today we are going to look at standard instrument used in measuring length or distance. And what is standard instrument in physics? Standard instruments are tools that give accurate and acceptable measurement of physical quantities. Are tools that give accurate and acceptable measurement of physical quantities. That is standard instrument. So now we have the standard instrument for measuring meters and a distance or length is meter rule or measuring tape. There are other instruments, but we are going to be looking at the the meter rules and the measuring tape. We also have the vernier calipers and also have the micrometer screw gauge. But for today, we are going to look at the meter rule and the measuring tape. And this one, you can see on the board, this is a typical meter rule. Meter rule and measuring tape have the same calibrations. As you can see here on the board, they are being calibrated in, you can see the calibrations here. Here is in centimeters, here is in millimeters. So now you can see that by so doing, by looking at this, the smallest division of the meter rule or the measuring tape in millimeters is 1 meter. Take note, the smallest division of a meter rule or measuring tape is 1 millimeters. That is also called the least count, or you can call it accuracy. So you can see from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is the least division of in millimeters, one of these calibration. So from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can see 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So that is the least or the smallest division of a meter rule or a measuring tape. You can call it the least count, or you can call it accuracy in millimeters. In centimeters, the smallest division of a meter rule in centimeters is 0.1. So from here is 0, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9. This is 1. 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, 1.6, 1.7, 1.8, 1.9, 2. So the smallest division of a meter rule or measuring tape in centimeters is 0.1. So take note, in meters, the smallest division is 1 meters. In centimeters is 0.1 centimeters. So take note, a question might come up that way, that you should, what is the smallest division of a meter rule? Or they might ask you the least count of a meter rule in millimeters or in centimeters, or the accuracy of a meter rule or measuring tape in millimeters or in centimeters. You should know that it is in millimeters, it is 1 millimeters, and in centimeters is 0.1 centimeters. The least count here is this smaller divisions you are seeing, as I have explained here on the board. So now another question can come up: the least possible error, the least possible error of a meter rule in millimeters is half the smallest division of the meter rule, or half the least count, or half the accuracy. Is going to be half times 1. So you now see that this least possible error of a meter rule or a measuring tape in millimeters is half times the smallest division, which we are going to have this as 0.5 millimeters. 0.5 millimeters. So the least possible error in centimeters will now be half times the smallest division, which is 0.1, and is going to give us 0.05 centimeters. Half times this, it gives us 0.05 centimeters. Question comes up that way in physics. So you should take note that the least possible error of a meter rule or a measuring tape in millimeters is 1/2 times 1, half the smallest division of a meter rule or a measuring tape. For centimeters, is half the smallest division of a meter rule or a measuring tape, as you can see here on the board. Questions comes up that way. So the next thing I want us to look at is the vernier calipers. Vernier calipers is also an instrument used in measuring length or distance. So in our next class, we are going to be looking at vernier calipers, how vernier calipers are used in also measuring distance or length of objects, and also look at micrometer screw gauge. Look at the least possible error, look at the smallest division of all these instruments. In physics, those are questions that normally comes out in your WAEC, in your NAPTEP, in your NECO, in your JAM, even in the high institution, in your physics. Those are questions you need to know, and you explain to somebody, and you see that you will not have any issue. So like I said, you keep yourself updated by subscribing, by following this channel, by also sharing it and liking it. So we are going to draw the curtain here in physics, while in our next class we'll be looking at the vernier calipers, still instrument used in measuring length or distances of objects. Thank you, as you keep yourself updated in this channel. You are welcome. Thank you very much. Thank you.